Yeah, let's talk about these hot headlines in the National Football League, all off the field. John and I have talked about what's going to happen in Jacksonville. The Jaguars are beginning a process to renovate their stadium. Massive 3-year project, 25, 26. They'll be doing things. They're closing off the upper deck. They're going to play before a smaller venue. In 2027, John, they have to leave the stadium completely so they can finish the refurb. We've been talking about where they're going to go to play. The Jaguars have just proposed to the National Football League this past weekend. Let us play 3 games in London in 2027. Let us play 3 games in Gainesville, Florida, the University of Florida Stadium. Let us play the other 3 games in Orlando. So they'll have 6 of 9 games in the Sunshine State. The other 3 will be 3 home games in a row. They'll move everything and be based in London for almost a full calendar month. So that's the latest on the Jaguars. They're going to be a true road team in 2027. Raiders, this is a really cool story. We all know number 99, Mad Maxx Crosby.
Oh, yeah.
Defensive ends, made himself a hell of a player.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a story of redemption. He was a rebel. He was a troubled kid, hardly got recruited. He went to Eastern Michigan in the Mid-American Conference, which had been down forever. Anyhow, he got put on the straight and narrow, followed guidance, followed coaches, made himself an NFL player. He's become a superstar with the Raiders. He donated $1 million to Eastern Michigan, which does not have a lot of money. It's a group of 5 school in the MAC. Donated $1 million to help refurbish the stadium. They just named the stadium this weekend in his honor, and he and his family came for the renovation.
Nice.
New artificial turf, etc. It's a really cool story of a kid that was off the track, kid that got guidance, kid that matured, found himself, kid that's become really involved in the community, first in Oakland, now in Las Vegas. I mean, he is a self-made star who found himself because of where he went to school and gave back to Eastern Michigan. It's a really cool story. And in Kansas City, I find this hard to believe that the Chiefs are going to move across the state line. On Saturday, the governor of the state of Kansas approved the $1.6 billion funding that the legislature had said yes on, signed the document. The money is there to build a Kansas City Chiefs stadium on the state line in the state of Kansas. Chiefs would contribute some $700 million, their share, plus the Chiefs would also build their own practice facility there. Can't believe that Kansas City, Missouri, and Jackson County is going to let the Chiefs go across the state line and get the stadium built. They've got till 2030 to put the shovel in the dirt, but now they got the financing. So, John, you want to go to London and see the Jacksonville Jaguars? You got that. You got the Raiders, the Maxx story, and then we'll talk about Kansas City and where they're going to play.
I like the Jaguars proposal because there's so many stadiums in Florida. Yeah. So Orlando, Gainesville, I liked a little bit of London. Good on them. Maxx Crosby, that's a great story, donating back to his school, showing some love. But I'll tell you what, in Michigan, I get confused. There's all these different directional Eastern Michigan, Northern Michigan, Western Michigan. I mean, are they all in the MAC?
And you forgot Central Michigan, which is going to play out here against San Diego State.
Exactly. So I can't keep track of them all. Break them down for me.
Well, Central Michigan, Eastern Michigan, Western Michigan, all part of the Mid-American Conference, MAC, group of 5, with Miami of Ohio and my alma mater, Ohio U, and Toledo and Kent and Bowling Green. It's a nice conference, which has its own level of play, and they're all pretty competitive. Northern Michigan is a Division II school up in the Upper Peninsula, more known for hockey than it used to be known for Division II football and developing quarterbacks. Steve Mariucci played at Northern Michigan. So Northern Michigan is different from the directional schools in the lower part of the state. But of course, obviously, what goes on in Ann Arbor, what goes on in East Lansing takes all the oxygen out of the air
right.
for the entire state of Michigan. And can you believe the Kansas City, Kansas Chiefs?
They're going where the money is, man. I mean, you can't blame them for taking the deal.
Okay, that's news and notes around the NFL.